this is Random World, and I am doing What If Deku Had All for One. His quirk is literally just all for one, but instead of having to hold on to the face for a few moments and then get the electricity crackle thing, he just needs to touch them directly on the skin. Yay! I believe in the theory that he's all for one's son, so let's just go with that. If you don't think so, that's your opinion. I don't really need to explain it, but a background. He met Inko and forgot to use his, I don't know, poison elimination, because I don't know, his immunity to get drunk. He forgot to use that quirk, and bam, no, never mind. It's just gonna be Nanashimura. I'm gonna say that Nanashimura is Inko's mom. And yeah. Sorry if I have a lot of deep breaths for no reason. I got one of my siblings to review this, so I am sorry if you don't like it. Anyway, that is just because I'm holding it up to my face. And right now it makes sense because I'm actually controlling this, so yeah. Anyways, yeah, Nanashimura moved to America because she somehow survived. I'm gonna say that All for One stole the quirk of Nanashimura, but she somehow was still alive, and was able to move to America because she couldn't endanger her son, and that is why she left him with one last note saying, "I am alive." If someone were to find out that if a dangerous man who stole my quirk, I'm gonna say that the Shimura family knows about All for One, saying All for One stole my quirk, and I can't come back until he has been defeated, which probably won't be for a very long time. If you're reading this, I have probably left already, trying to get away for your own safety. And that is what the letter reads about. And yeah. Then the Shimura her son knows about All for One and is scared because of the fact he stole a quirk. Very scary. Yeah. The Shimura family has this information passed down since a generation, blah blah blah. Moved to America, fell in love again, had Inko, and then blah 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 blah. Time skip to Izuku is born. Izuku has bright green hair, brighter than the normal cannon. Like just slightly, like a slightly brighter green, like a slightly light green. Like it's that, like, I don't know, a light green. Anyways, whenever he uses his quirk or something, his hair becomes a neon green, and lights up. Boom. I don't know why, but I just like the idea of that. And whenever he gets an electricity quirk or something like black whip, that is also going to be the same as that. Anyways, let's time skip to when he was declared quirkless. But all for one, gonna say that all for one knows that his son isn't quirkless. Because, I don't know, his DNA tests he sees that randomly, I don't know, he just sees electricity spark around him during nighttime whenever he tucks him in. Whenever he pats Izuku on his head, sparks fly out. I don't know what else to say. Whenever he pats him on the head, he still cares. He cares about his son more than in canon. I don't know what else to say. He's the son of All for One. All for One in this is just more caring. I do not know what else to say. Blah blah blah. Everything still goes the same as canon until while defending the kid from Bakugo, his hair turns a neon green. You know what I said. His quirk activates. Electricity sparks around him, and just sparks around him, and Izuku takes a punches Bakugo in the face. Because he doesn't really know what is going on. He's in his mind, he just sees darkness and is sort of in a blackout mode. He's going on autopilot. He's on autopilot. His quirk activated and he's on autopilot because right now all he cares about is defending the kid. And once that happens, Bakugo's quirk is now Izuku's. And Izuku in an angry voice, still blacked out, but his autopilot says, "Don't you dare ever take advantage of anyone just because they're weaker than you. You have no power. You don't have any reason to do it." And while throwing an explosion out, which is, I'm going to say his quirk also powers it up more and powers it up, but I don't know, 3 times more powerful. So, if you ever got a hold of One for All, they're dead. So yeah, they are currently during this after that Bakugo, I don't know what's himself, because he used his quirk. Izuku used his quirk after he was declared quirkless, and everyone just sees this. Someone tells the teacher, and Ramos, this is I think this is during school hours. Pretty sure. Anyways, Bakugo, Izuku's parents get called. Hisashi got a call on his phone and from the school because he has an extra phone for family instead of using his normal phone for like his villain work and stuff. And currently is in like the Nomu lab trying to figure out how to make them so that way for his empire. He still is a villain. He just spends more time with his family. The doctor knows about this and was still the doctor that was still the doctor, blah blah blah, for the whole thing, saying he can't be a hero, but still can help people in some way, which still sorta discouraged him, but gave him a little hope. I don't know. I'm just trying to make it so that everything makes sense. And so, Hisashi arrives first, using his teleportation thing. Teleportation to a certain person. Pretty sure that's how it works. He can only teleport to a certain person or teleport them to him. Pretty sure that's how that quirk works. If I'm wrong, this is a what if. So, yeah. They are current. Izuku is in the office after he's currently just purely blacked out now. And Bakugo is also in the office now because they see he doesn't have a quirk. So they don't really care about him anymore. They only cared about his quirk. So, what happens? He enters the office and the teachers report everything. Because they don't really care about him anymore. He used to have a quirk and now he doesn't. They let him get away with it because of his quirk. But now because of Izuku having a more powerful one, and everyone is now scared of him, but also wants wants to pretty much make sure that Izuku doesn't take their quirk, or even worse, well, get in trouble because of that powerful quirk and wants him to be a hero instead of, well, being a bad guy. Which is the whole thing which everyone agrees with. They don't want him to be a villain. So they tell the parents still. They tell the parents because, well, he stole a quirk. Theft. They love the bullying of kids, but actual theft of any kind is not good. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. He gets in trouble, gets sent back home because he's blacked out. And Hisashi, which I'm gonna say that he still goes by Hisashi Yagi. Well, shoot, no. Sorry, I forgot the name. He just goes by Hisashi. He doesn't really have a last name. I forgot what his last name was. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say he goes by Hisashi. And because Nana went to America, she decided on the name Midoriya. Because why the heck not? To conceal her true identity as Nana Shimura. And, well, the whole thing happens. He gets scolded because taking something that isn't yours is wrong. And Izuku's just wondering, why are you yelling at me? What did I do wrong? Inko says what he did according to the teachers, from what they could tell. And Izuku says, how did I do that when I'm quirkless? But I'm happy that I have a quirk now. All for one, or Hisashi says, well, good for you. Good for you, Champ. Gonna say Champ is Hisashi's nickname for Izuku. I don't know what else to say. It's a fun name to do. Izuku Midoriya is then grounded for 3 days of watching the All Might thing, which All for One is actually pretty happy about. For the fact that, well, All for One is pretty sure is that, well, wait, no. All for One doesn't really like All Might because One for All and everything. You know this already. All for One is still, well, is sort of happy that Izuku has someone to look up to. He just wished that someone was him. Even if he doesn't look up to All For One, he still wanted him to be his idol because, I don't know, sadness for that, I guess. The Midoriya family, he somehow gets the Midoriya family tears from marrying Inko. Somehow. And everything just continue. Izuku tries to train his quirks, but somehow can't awaken the one that he stole, that he used to steal Bakugo's quirk. And he notices that, his a drop of his sweat is able to make the size explosion of, I don't know, a grenade. Like, a single drop of sweat is able to make a size of, like, I don't know, Bakugo's normal grenade gauntlet size. Like, not the explosion they can make, but the actual gauntlet itself. His grenade gauntlet size of Sing. That is the size of the explosion he can make with a single drop of sweat, which then makes him sweat even more, which causes a chain reaction, which isn't honestly surprising because a single explosion causing other things that are able to explode is pretty normal, which just caused him to sweat more. And this kept on going for a few minutes until Hisashi came over and said, and just dumped a bucket on him. Dumped like a cup of water. I don't really know what else to say. Because what else can you do when you got a thing that continuously explodes until put out? And yeah, that just pretty much solved it. I'm gonna continue to talk about this. And Bakugo is getting slightly bullied, and his normal goons are actually the ones doing it. Because, hey, they just wanted to hang out with him because they wanted to lead off of his greatness because of his quirk. And Bakugo is angry with Izuku for taking his power, and that fact that it was Izuku of all people, the one that, well, looked down on him from his perspective. And now he had actually his power to look down on him even more. And because of his superiority complex, well, sorta, still developing one, and need to keep his ego up, he sorta has a meltdown. Because he has meltdowns in his room and doesn't tell anyone, even his mom, for weeks. And then gets back to his normal self, trying to challenge Izuku and tries to get Izuku to give it back. But Izuku says, I don't know how. I haven't even been able to use that power for the whole time since you've used it. I don't even know how. I don't even know how to activate it. But during this time, Izuku has been using Bakugo's explosion quirk to the fullest, trying to get it to, well, get it to actually make it not set off a chain reaction because of how much it makes him sweat, and then that explosion causes even more, and then that causes it to explode, and then it continues. He can't even activate it without the sweat on his arms, or anywhere on his body, to not completely just explode without it going anywhere. And he asks Bakugo if he could explain how not to do that, and Bakugo just says, HE double hockey sticks. I don't know. He swears. That is the first time he has sweared in this, because I don't know why not. And it has been 26 minutes. Let's continue. Anyways, Izuku is sorta a celebrity because they wanted to make sure not to get on his bad side, and tries to get on his good side so that way their quirks don't get stolen or possibly killed because of that. And Izuku's and yeah, time skip to when he's 5. And Hisashi can't take it anymore and decides to tell Izuku about his quirk, about his true quirk, all for one. And after the whole explanation of how his quirk works, Izuku asks, who did you steal the quirk, your fire quirk from then? Izuku asks, and Hisashi doesn't know. All he knows is that his quirk doesn't allow him to age past his prime, and that it's able to steal and give quirks. And that's about it. Sorry for the quietness, I'm just thinking. And Izuku asks, so how many quirks have you stolen? He asks this out of just pure just wondering. And Hisashi says, so many. And well, he says this in his mind and tries to say to his son, however many bad people I have met, or people who have at least abused their powers. He says this in actuality, and he also says people who also didn't want their quirks during the age of, well, the beginning of quirks. I was the first generation of I am from the first generation of quirks. And, well, actually, second generation. And Izuku is asking, how do I activate it so I can give back Kachan's quirk? And Hisashi says, just think about the quirk as fire and your body as the torch. And people and the things that you take from, you're grabbing the torch, their flaming torch away from them. Their fire of their quirk. And imagine that while you're doing it, it becomes, and sooner or later you won't even need to imagine it. It will happen naturally over time. And Izuku asks, Can I take the quirk you were saying that you originally had? Then Hisashi says, why not? Izuku imagines this and actually notices it's a huge fire. Like his eyes, once he closes his eyes and is imagining it holding on to his dad's head. Well, it actually works. But instead of seeing a small torch, he sees a blazing fire on an insane big fire. And well, he doesn't really know what else to do, because other than just try and grab it. He grabs a single one out of that huge fire, and then his hair, and in the real world, his hair started to glow, and then he opens his eyes. And Hisashi says, You did something with your quirk. Try and activate it by using the breathing fire thing that I normally do. Izuku does this, but instead of fire coming out, his nails grow into metal with red lines engraved in them. Hisashi says, oh, that is from when a villain attacked me. It was technically true. It was pretty much a gang war one time while he was getting followers. A gang war when he had still few followers, and he took it. That is when I'm gonna say what happened to get it. And Izuku says, how do I know how to grab which one out of you? And Hisashi says, you don't. And you don't, because normally people don't have more than one quirk or two quirks. But hey, we're special. And pats him on the head, and sparks come flying out. Why do our quirks react this way? Why do sparks come out of you whenever I pat your head? And Izuku says, well, this is the end of it. Hey, I'm trying to leave it on a cliffhanger. So, bye-bye, everyone. If you like the video, like and subscribe. Bye-bye.